Hello friends, and welcome to the Winding Road Podcast. Car's a little hot, but I don't want to pump the air conditioning too much. Haven't messed with my audio, but hopefully we are good to go. Because we are learning, we are evolving, and I wasn't even going to click on here. It's been maybe a couple days since I did my last one, but on the drive today, I was just going to, listen to a wrestling podcast. Like I said, I like to mix in philosophy, all that type of stuff, and music and these things. But, I have my things that I love, and I've always been a wrestling fan since I was a kid, for the art, for the comedy, for live theater, three of the things I absolutely love. If you don't like it, that's okay. But I do, and I say, woo! But instead of doing that, I got on here because I started thinking of what is a tripwire? A tripwire of our mind. Okay, so we've blocked out the bad thoughts, right? We've made them become noise, but then it's just the wire that is left over that remains. So, which means that the little quick negative thoughts that you thought that you had made into noise will try to come back to you, but not as anything other than because you've thought it a million times before. But it's like you overcame them, but then every now and then, boom, you get hit with a little quick one. And so how do we it's already noise though, so I'm cool with that. And that's what I recognize is, no. The bad goes away and the positive remains. But it's just like a neural pathway that can get triggered in your mind. It's just the neural pathway that flows through. You've created all these other new neural pathways, but it's the wire trying to sneak back in to all these other new neural pathways you've created. If you think about it down to science, down at its core, what is actually happening in your mind, in your brain, to try to begin to comprehend all of those activities. And if you read a lot about them, and I'm not going to try to explain to you, go look them up for yourself. That I will definitely sound like an idiot, but yet I have taken those things in and trying to continue to do that. And so whenever a negative thought comes up at you, you're not tripped up by the wire. You just kick it out of the way, kick it back in. There was no noise, it was just a wire. An old neural pathway trying to mix back in with the new ones. And that's all it is. And we're able to see that and understand that based on the things that we do and the things that we continue to do and what the Winding Road is all about. I am here to motivate people, you, me, each other, to love, inspire, and unite. And that's what the Winding Road is all about. I just wanted to get on here and say that. But I do feel like I am continuing to grow, and I want to talk specifically about writing projects and just, getting my greatness, as I like to say. I don't know if other people are going to think it's great. Some of my stuff is good, but what I mean by being great is you are doing, not being. You are creating positive energy and change that can inspire people, and that's what we have to continue to do. I'm growing personally, and the greatness, like I said, comes from acting, and I know that if I'm doing all these things and being one with nature and trying to take care of my body and trying to be of sober and alert mind and try to realize that the flesh is not against, or the battle is not against flesh and blood. It is not. We're not here to fight each other. That is part of the yin and the yang, of course. Of course, night, day. All those things, that is all there. It's a part of life. But as I grow, I gain confidence. And that's the confidence that could lead you to greatness. And with my art and stuff, it's just like ideals that keep coming, and I'm trying now. I feel like I'm doing a bit better. At least I'm pumping these things out there. I'm not sure when you'll hear this, but hopefully I have some of my art stuff up for vote on TikTok if you want to check that out. So what I do is I take an original photo I took. Like, this is all my stuff, I might mess around. This is letting you in on the gatekeepers and how I create my art here. I'm not going to be a gatekeeper, I'm going to share myself with the world. And if other people want to create similar things using how I do it, then cool. There's a lot of people that already do, obviously. But the way I do it is my own. And I do it by creating on 3 different platforms. There's one like a photo editor on my phone. Canva's a really good one. And what else? Wondershare? Yeah, Wondershare is really good. I'd like to have a little bit better of a program for that, but I'm trying to figure it out, and that's why I'm not sure whether you'll be seeing this one or whether you'll just be listening to it if you're on YouTube. I know I've said in the past that some of you've been, I try to do the green screen with my art and stuff, but I still like to try to show me, but it's hard trying to figure all that stuff out with the best programs to use for that so that I can still show myself, because I know that more people will view that most likely rather than just doing audio. But at worst, I want to get my art up there for sure for you guys to check out. If you are here on the YouTube, you see it, and you can vote on it on TikTok. That's just my digital art, my photo art, whatever you might want to call it. Well, you'll definitely just be listening on this episode because I am not doing the video on this one. It's just much easier for me to be, whenever I'm able to just sit here and talk to you and not have to worry about any of this stuff. All I have to do is click a button, so it all boils down to it. That's why I do the audio. But yeah, man, we're growing. We're evolving. Life is great in good and in bad. What else am I doing? Oh, I got a guy to our left checking the mail on the winding road. Looked like he was folding up an envelope. I believe he might have been getting ready to stuff it into his pocket. Put it in his pocket. And get a little silly now. See if any other deep thoughts come. We'll just kind of drive down the winding road. I invite you in this time now to think about what has been said so far. Maybe we'll get a little bit of music playing, do a little bit of meditation. I know that seems silly, but a lot of people have used it to achieve greatness, doing the old meditation, praying, things of said nature, believing in a higher power, or let's not even look at it as a power. I mean, obviously it is, because it could be, right? But think of it as more. When it all boils down to it, who is God? What is God? God is more. More would then implicate higher power, but I think whenever you start looking in terms of power, then you start looking at, is it what did Gary Zukav call it? External power, or is it authentic power? And what is authentic power, and I think authentic power comes from enlightenment and exploration of your own mind. Because our reality is dictated by our minds, and our minds are all that we know. I used to say our minds are all that we have, but it's not. That's wrong. I need to go back and change that on my poetry. Incorrect, dummy. Yeah. Should definitely do that. Now I done forgot what I said. Authoritative power. Our reality is dictated by our minds, and our minds are all that we know, but yet they're not. Because everybody's got a mind, right? And everybody, for the most part, can see what's in front of them, can see the natural world, from a basic principle of what do you need, what do you got? And then you can ask those deeper questions later of what are we doing here? What created us? Is there something more? I don't know. Let's read the Bible and find out. Let's read the 4 agreements and find out. Sam Harris, another good one I like to listen to. I'm just giving a shout out to who I listen to and what inspires me. And it's all these things, and it's the entertainment. Like I said, I love wrestling. That's why I watch a lot. I try to read, obviously, more than I watch things, but I'm like anybody else. I got my favorite shows. And I guess like an escape from your mind, I guess, would be these things that we love. And the things that, whenever they're happening, it is really kind of as if there is no time and you're just completely lost in the moment, walking down the path, looking at a bird up in the tree, hearing its beautiful sounds. A squirrel scurries in front of you. And banging chains, playing disc golf, man. That's my jam, man. Dare I get a little singing going on in the winding road? Probably get taken down for YouTube copyrights, but I do like to try to make up my own songs too. That's all up on my website. Made a few up there. It's actually how I got most of my views for the things that I've done, or listens, I guess, on that, and being a broadcaster on the radio, doing sports for 11 years, but that was just at a very local level. But then shout out to the WSC stage creator. Like, he is one of the people that has believed in me, and I believe in him, and he's already achieved greatness, and he is continuing to fly and soar and make his product better and just outstanding. It's incredible. It's silly, yes. It's like wrestling figurines, which that brought me back to my childhood immediately. But then he turns that into matches, into cards, into shows, into storylines, just like in real wrestling. And I got to do some commentary for him. And he believed in me because all I did was leave a comment for him, telling him that I did it for 11 years. And if he ever wanted anybody to introduce the wrestlers as they come to the ring, then I could do that for him. I saw that was lacking. He was doing it all himself. Now he's got some other guy doing it with him. But he was doing it all himself at the time, and I saw that lacking, but I saw a great thing going on, and I was like, man, I could help add to this. And he's not only, he didn't let me do that. I still would like to do that. I did, because I got to call my own match, and I got to do the PA for it, because he took his character he created and put him in a match. Nathan's his name. And so I got to call a couple of matches for him, and those have garnered over 500,000 views, I think, on each one of them now, maybe. Oh, we got a tractor on the winding road, and we got a wave. How you doing, sir? And so, talking about getting over the fear, and doing what I did, going to New York to try to query my books old school. You know, like I knew that it probably wasn't going to work, but I knew there's a slim chance that somebody might be like, damn, and just hear me and listen to me and want to publish my book. But that was not what happened. But I learned a very great lesson from that. You know, if I can do that, I can do this on here now, because that was bold, that was brave. But with Nathan, I just asked him a question, and he said yes. And I hope that I can find more people to believe in me. And now that I've got like all those views on that, that was his channel. That was a very specific niche, but everybody loved it and loved me. And shout out to the people that have come over and are on my page now because of him. Appreciate it. Love you guys, man. Thank you guys very much. And we thank everyone else for being on here as well with me today, here on the Winding Road Podcast. I'm me, you're you, we are each other. Love, inspire, unite. God bless.